the NFL, I don't think they officially announced this, but the news broke because the media was doing its darndest.
Mm-hmm.
Its journalistic job to figure out when the schedule's going to break. The weirdest thing ever, man. So it's next Wednesday. The league apparently had sent a memo to tell teams to expect that it was going to be Thursday, and it's got, for whatever reason, it got pushed back about a week and no one knows why. But I continue to just raise this flag as high as I can to fly for everyone to see. This makes no sense to me, that the league doesn't want people to know when they're releasing their schedule. Now, luckily, we figured it out. Collectively, I didn't do anything. I just kind of sat there.
You know what you did, buddy.
And ate some Doritos.
You helped.
But somebody figured it out, and now we know. Next Wednesday. So, for your planning purposes, if you're like me and you plan on going to the New Orleans game, you're going to a game on the road, you will know when Washington is playing its opponents, what the dates are. You can line up the schedule. That'll be next Wednesday. I guess I should ask you, Danny, as we have a mutual friend in Nolens, our buddy Christian, who runs the very famous restaurant in the French Quarter, Brennan's. I am going to see Christian. When the Commanders are playing in New Orleans, I'll be making my, what is every other year? Is that biannual?
So semi-annual is twice a year. Biannual is every 2 years. Yeah,
Okay.
It sounds right to me. Yeah.
I'll be making my biannual trip to Nolens for the Commanders game.
I think it's something the lads need to do.
Does Danny Rouillet plan on accompanying his pal?
I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take a shot here. I'm going to try.
Darius and Ryan, I want you guys on the record right here and right now. We could even, CK's been asking for vacation dates for the summer. We could even, if we need to, we could give him some vacation dates during the fall.
Whoa.
How about a little show field trip? One way or the other. With or without Odyssey's help. We're going to New Orleans.
You mean without?
I can answer this for myself. I want beignets. I love French food as well. So I do want to go to New Orleans and have a little show trip.
Have you ever been to New Orleans?
I do. I have not.
Clary on the French Quarter could be on Bourbon Street. Get him out and about. Your mind will be blown.
We might just lose him to the sea of the crowd.
I think, was I your age? No, I would have been younger. I think I was probably 21 first time I went to New Orleans. It was a good week.
I had an object that said I was 21 the first time I went, and it was a great time. It was great.
Darius.
Was that object in the shape of a card?
Nope. Anyway.
Okay.
Grant and Danny.
The rectangle had some laminating
Darius and Ryan. Eating alligator at that weird place that Christian took us to.
Jacomos. You sleep.
In New Orleans in the fall. What do we think?
100% in.
All right, good.
I think the boys all need to go.
No, we're doing that. It's just, that's what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Stone cold lock. Lock it in.
Let's make it a plan. Here's what I know is going to happen, though. Because my wife and I have already been planning this for a few months. We're definitely doing it. That game's going to be the week of like Christmas Eve or something.
Of course.
There's just no way it's going to fall when I need it to, which is, frankly, anytime in September, October, or November, other than Thanksgiving week. The rest of the schedule, NFL, whenever you're ready.
How about that Thanksgiving Day game with Washington and New Orleans for some reason?
Thanksgiving night. I might actually make that work. I'll be honest with you. With all due respect, family, I'll see you next week. That might be fun. Go do Thanksgiving in New Orleans. What says Thanksgiving better than Bourbon Street?
Sitting down with your family.
Yeah.
But listen, I think you're fine with your idea. See you next year, in-laws.
Anything else you care about a whole lot? And like, that's the thing, like the schedule I need you right now, because I want to know when the New Orleans game is. Anything else that you care about?
I generally care about if they're going to do the division bit where there's like just a little appetizer one earlier than like the last 5 games or division games or something like that they've been doing lately.
Is it weird that I am oddly excited to find out when they play Caleb Williams and the Bears?
No,
that's my 1-2 matchup.
Quite literally my next answer.
Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, 1 versus 2.
Another Thursday night game is what it feels like to me.
I'm just going to remind everybody one more time that Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota, when they went 1-2, played head-to-head in week 1. I think Bears Commanders in week 1 is in play. Now, Darius shot me down yesterday with I almost said with a chainsaw, which doesn't really make any sense.
I've seen him do it.
It felt like he took a chainsaw to me, but he was very correct. I came out of the studio after I had the great idea. I'm like, Commanders, Bears.
Here's what's going to happen. I tell you for true.
Week 1, Sunday Night Football. And I walked in the studio and Darius was like, you fatso. Don't you understand, you loser?
Shut up, you fat idiot.
He's like, why do you talk so much, you blabbering fool?
Why are you running your mouth, you buffoon?
Don't you ever let anyone else talk, you jackass? And by the way, you're fat. No, but what he actually said was all those things.
Yep.
And then he said, I hate working here and I hate you.
Right.
And I was like, anything else?
Hey.
I'm
stop,
sorry.
Stop
okay.
that. Come on.
You're right. But what he
Said
said
it with your
was
eyes, buddy.
all that stuff.
Mhm.
And then what he also said was, bro, they're not going to play on Monday night or on Sunday Night Football. But he had a great idea. He said, why not Monday night, week 1? And I thought,
Oh,
2 games. You know they're going to do that. They love that wacky.
Oh, God.
The old Monday night double dip. You get a really good team on the West Coast playing. So the Chiefs will be Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Cross them off the list. But, there will be a intriguing, maybe like a Chargers Jim Harbaugh debut kind of late night game.
Like a San Fran situation.
Early game, Chicago TV market, DC TV market. Number 1 pick, Caleb Williams. Number 2 pick, Jayden Daniels. How about Soldier Field in Chicago?
No, I think that game's here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a home
on the
that
schedule.
makes
Homer.
sense.
Yeah.
Good call. Landover, Maryland.
Get excited.
It's also called Soldier Field now, weirdly, because it's not called FedEx Field.
People don't know that.
So that was my misspeak.
Mhm.
Soldier Field 2, that's what we're going to call it.
Yep.
As of right now. So that I wasn't wrong. In Landover, Maryland. The Commanders
That's why I hate working here.
and the Bears. What do you think?
I'm of 2 minds. One, I'm like sick to my stomach thinking about a primetime game. I want nothing but 1 o'clock kickoffs, only beamed to my television. The other part, though, is it makes sense. It does. It makes a little bit of sense because you got the old guard, the actual really good teams. You got them kind of highlighting throughout the weekend. You've got them highlighting that night. But then you've got kind of the new wave, like the guys that are on deck, the next sort of generation.
And they're not going to be the A team.
No.
It's not going to be Buck and Aikman. It's going to be like the B team that they throw together at the last second.
Like Trent Dilfer's there.
It's like a lot of Lewis Riddick, who I love, by the way. But it's going to be, Marv Levy's son, Steve, for some reason. Steve Levy's like calling the game. They'll just patchwork this group. It's going to be 8:15, and it's going to hit.
Oh, I don't want it.
Good evening and welcome to the National Football League in 2024. Shot of Caleb Williams throwing to some random receiver. Number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner in 2022. One of the most revered draft prospects in years. Gets his first shot to show Bears fans what he's all about. Camera pans to Jayden Daniels throwing a pass to like Dax Milne for some reason on the sideline. And he's like handing it to some guy I've never seen who's like in a beanie. It's like some random like 23-year-old mustachioed white guy in a beanie, like throws it back to Jayden Daniels, who's like on the training staff. And Jayden Daniels catches the ball and they're like, and there's the 2023 Heisman Trophy winner, Jayden Daniels, who will make his debut at home in front of his adoring fans tonight. And they'll pan to like a section that's empty, but Tailgate Ted's sitting there already.
Yep.
And it's just Tailgate Ted and like Rally Captain and like some other guy wearing a hog nose.
Like their guests.
Can you feel the excitement? It's week 1 football in the National Football League, and it's only here on ESPN. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
What do we think? You can see it, right?
I can see it.
You can see it.
I got chills thinking about it, honestly.
And by the way, you know what you guys sleep on? What was the craziest part about that whole scene?
Tailgate Ted and Rally Captain sitting in the section by themselves? No.
Dax Milne made the roster. After all the offseason,
That was my first thought was Dax Milne was involved there.
Dax Milne hanging around.
All the attempts at upgrades.
He is still there. Must have been a tough camp in preseason on the wide receiver injury front, I suppose.